So, good morning still. We've been working away at a couple things here this morning, getting the dryer going. We had to load some stuff for my mom to take to Beaver Lodge. My wife went to town to get some other stuff. But I had a buyer from Dawson Creek there. He phoned, he wants a load of canola. So we just got the grain back cleaned out. It had wheat in it. So my dad's down there getting the dryer filled again. I'm gonna head down and get Carl, fill him up, and then I'm gonna head up there. I've never hauled to Dawson before, so we'll see how this goes. So we made it. We're here at P&H in Dawson Creek. I never hauled here before, so pretty excited about that. I would like to say my day was uneventful to get the grain up here, but holy moly, what a nightmare. We started out with the grain back, kept blowing shear pins, so we know what's wrong. I'm sure there's some drive dogs down in the bottom of the grain back that are rounded off, so the auger pops in and out. Dad was working on that when I left. Maybe I'll show you when I get back. This canola, funny enough, this is canola from actually 2 harvests ago. When we harvested it, local elevators and stuff and some of the brokers, they're like, oh, $4, $3.50, you know, you'll never get rid of it. So we kept it. We kept it and we kept it and we kept it. And the green came out of it, I guess, and yeah, now it's worth 10 bucks. So definitely worthwhile keeping it. So as I said before, I've never hauled up here. I've never hauled into BC or to this elevator or anything like that. And I can tell you right now off the bat, it's got my local elevator beat just on the fact that I'm unloading and that guy over there is unloading. So they got 2 driveways. They got certainly not an overcomplicated facility. That's certainly a nice one though. They got... Okay, so we made it back. It was all in all, it was a good success. Like, if you were gonna be like, hey, you want to haul another load like that again? Well, I'd just give you a straight up no. It was pretty much a disaster from the get-go. Got the okay for it. He's like, yeah, you know, bring a load up. This canola, it's like 2.5 years old, 2 years old. So from 2 harvests ago, it was like 25% green when we harvested it. Now it's like 16% green, which moves you up into that less than 20. So plus the price of canola just skyrocketed. So he's like, yeah, we should be able to give you 10 bucks. And I was like, well, yeah, that's great. I took him a sample, but unfortunately, like, you know, a little bag full, that doesn't do justice. I mean, I got 4 loads, so I got 10 billion bagfuls. So I like to do that. I said, let's just get a load and let's take a load up there. Dockage is a little higher. I think it's just 16% dockage. I wasn't really expecting that, but I wasn't expecting 0 either. So, you know, I mean, the stuff I sent out to the crush plant a while back was 8%, and the dockage in that didn't weigh very much. There's quite a bit of broken canola and stuff in this, so you know they're probably fair. He offered me a really good price for it. As long as that still holds, definitely will have no issue. So now he knows, like, and they know because they have to do some figuring, right? You know, how much good stuff do they need to take this 1 load of marginal stuff. But so right off the hop, yeah, Kenworth fires up, topped it off with bug wash, took it up, fired up the grain back, got 1 hopper loaded, shear pin. Ran out of shear pins, had 1 left. So Dad and Buddy luckily were here, so Dad brought me up that red auger, and we stuck that in the bin, started filling with that while we drained the canola out of the drum of the grain vac, because we know what's wrong. It happened to us before. So Dad and Buddy were like, yeah, okay, you head off to Dawson once you get loaded. Go on up there. When I stopped in Hythe to fuel up, I thought, well, I've never hauled to Dawson before. That's in BC, another province. So I thought I end up phoning Alberta Transportation and just get clarification. on, if I can, with my own truck, haul my own grain into the other province, because my truck isn't licensed commercially anymore. So I phoned them. They're like, yeah, we have no idea. Okay, so I was stopped at the Alberta scales talking to BC, and they're like, yeah, well, definitely you need some sort of permitting. And I was just like, I don't know. So anyways, I got done with her. I called the elevator agent there, and he goes, something free reciprocity or something. It's an agreement between the two provinces for agriculture specifically, so you don't need anything. So I was like, okay, well, we'll just go with that. Now, just past the Alberta border into BC now, there's a little town called Poos, and there's a scale there, right? You know, you go gradually around a right-hand turn, and then down a hill, and there's a little scale off to the right-hand side. So I'm going 70 because it's there. Lights are on, so scales. It means you got to pull into the scales. So I just tapped my brakes a little bit, and you know, I was like, oh boy, okay, I got to slow right down here. So a little bit harder on my brakes. While the trail of smoke that followed me from that wheel seal we did before, I guess we got the brakes a little too snug. That is like probably anybody's worst fear, is to pull into a DOT scale with a cloud of smoke following you. So I roll across the scale, and I'm a legal load. I'm not heavy or nothing. And then I hear over the little loudspeaker, pull around to the side, please. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm going to jail. Absolutely going to jail. Anyways, nicest guy in the world walks out, kind of laughing, and he's like, holy man, your brakes are pretty hot, eh? And I knew it wasn't on my driver's side because I couldn't see any smoke, and I could see smoke on my passenger side, and I was like, oh man, we must have tightened the brakes too tight after that wheel seal. And I hadn't really used my brakes up until that point because, well, I don't know, it's kind of uphill the whole way, and whatever. So I was like, yeah, it's got to be that back one, and he brought his little thermometer out, and he's like, yeah, it's way too hot. Now everybody always scared me, and they're like, oh, these DOT people are mean and rude, and they'll hang you out to dry and whatever, they'll fine you for anything. That was definitely not the case. That was not the case in my experience. The guy was super nice. I asked him a whole bunch of questions about, hauling my own grain off my own farm with my own truck into BC. And he's like, oh, I don't have the answers for you. Let me run in. I'll run all this information. And I was like, well, I don't really want to stick my foot in my mouth. And he's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. He's like, we all got to learn somewhere, right? So he said, by the time I get this all figured out, your brakes should be cool enough. You head off to Dawson, bud, and drive safe. And I was just like, wow, it infuriates me when people have these prejudices against others. Like maybe you got a raw deal once, or maybe you've had a couple bad experiences, but there's certainly no need to pollute the well of groups of people because of something you may have heard, or like I say, one or two bad experiences. So anyways, I didn't encounter anything rough. So I get up to P&H, super nice people, throw them my wheat sample that I took to them. They got 2 scales. I put some of that in the video. Get unloaded, back home. I'm home now. It's I think it's about 85 clicks if I go the back way, and I think it was about 57 to the other elevator. Like that's my closer elevator. So when you're talking about service and you're talking about efficiencies and stuff like that, my local elevator can go fly a kite. Back home, safe. Truck didn't start on fire. Didn't get a ticket. Got my canola delivered. So all in all, pretty good day. I'm gonna go over now. You're gonna see what Dad's doing, how he made it on the back. I haven't stopped. I didn't have lunch or nothing today, so I'm gonna do that too. So it's windier than I'll get up outside, so I might not do any filming. And if that is it, because it's 5:30, so that could be it for filming or anything for the evening. If that is, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And yeah, I don't know, if you got friends that are interested in watching farming videos and the insanity that goes on with with me and farming, pass it along. So thanks for watching, and have a good evening.